Hi, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. So, my mom and dad just got back in town, and it kind of reminded me of something. I've been doing this with friends since we were younger. I think, obviously, we all remember that point in time where we shopped at mom and dad's house when we first moved out. Honestly, for me, it was just because I liked being able to go and take my mom's leftovers. And so I would be like, "Oh, you cooked pot roast for dinner. Don't mind if I do." Um, you know how teenagers are. I was a teenager once too. Anyways, but I remember my friend Teresa had bought a huge bag of cuties, and she's like, "There's no way I can finish these. I think you'll like them. Here, try some." And so she gave me like a pound or two of cuties, and I don't remember if she bought a 5 pound bag or a 10 pound bag, but it was huge, right? And so then we all kind of started doing it. And at first, my parents didn't do it with me, but my parents, I'm the oldest of five, so I was out on my own, but they still had, teenagers at home to feed. So, well, I could always go over and grab food for my moms. It didn't really make sense to, split it the way I would with my friends. And then it was mainly Teresa. It was mainly Teresa who I would go back and forth with. There were a couple others sometimes who would do it, but so it's kind of good to have that person you do that with because in certain locations, like in Florida, the big thing is BOGO. And so in order to get the deal, you have to get two. And really, it's brilliant marketing because you know what you have a lot of in Florida? Single people, empty nester couples, snowbirds, people who are there temporarily. So they're not going to go through 10 pounds of potatoes. And they're certainly not going to go through 20 pounds if it's the 10 pound bag that's buy one, get one. But if, let's say you're in a neighborhood and you can get five ladies, let's say you can get five ladies and guys and, whatever. Sorry, I keep saying ladies, but I think it's because whenever I think of this kind of a thing, I think of like my grandma and her friends. So, you know, men, you can do this too. Um, but if it's BOGO, you should always take the free item if you can donate it or whatever. But you could also like share with a friend. So, yeah. Sorry, 5 pounds of potatoes or buy one, get one. That's 10 pounds of potatoes. That's a lot for one person to eat. However, if you share and you split it with like three friends, that's like roughly 3 1/3 pounds each. So and you don't necessarily have to like even divvy it up perfectly. Maybe one of you guys buys potatoes this week and the next week somebody buys oranges or whatever. You could buy bulk items like maybe you all like romaine and you can get the 5 pack of hearts of romaine instead of one single thing because it'll go bad otherwise. So think like that. And when you're going to be shopping and everything. So like obviously you want to look at the per item price and everything. But like so my parents get bulk rice. They like this very specific white rice and it's organic and everything. Sorry. So they get it once a year and then they share it with us. And they give some to each of their children. And so that'll be like a few months worth of rice for me. Um, but then I'm trying to think. I know they brought rice. Oh, and carrots. My parents wanted to get organic carrots, and it came in a 5 pound bag. And so they're like, "Will you take some carrots?" I'm like, "I don't know. I guess I could take a pound." They're like, "That's it." I'm like, "No more than 2 pounds." So they gave me 2 pounds of carrots. But then I was looking at my fridge and I'd gotten, I don't know if you remember, I got all those miniolas. And I love them. They're absolutely amazing. I kind of want one right now, but I'm not going to have one because it's right before bed. And these miniolas are amazing. They're sweet and juicy and just like one of the best fruits ever. In fact, I froze one and like I peeled it and broke it into pieces and froze it, and it kind of tastes like a push pop. You remember those, like, you'd go to the ice cream man and it was like it looked like a toilet paper roll that had like colorful circles, and then you pushed it up and it was orange. It tastes like that. You can kind of taste the pulp towards the end, but not right away. It's really good. Anyways, so I gave a few of those to my parents, and then I'll give some to, because I ended up with a lot of them, and then like I said, I ended up, they kind of get all over me, so, and I'll give some to my sister-in-law and brother and their kids, because it'll go bad. And like I said, I was really planning on taking my lunches until I kept on peeling them and they'd spill on me. And then my legs were all sticky, but the worst was the day that it looked like I peed myself. I was like, okay, and I had to continue shopping, and it was just not good. So then I was like, okay, maybe I can't do that. Maybe I'll peel some and take some in my lunch too, but yeah, so that is kind of how we do things. And I've done it with friends and I've done it with family. But when you have extra, you share, and when they have extra, they share, and it just kind of works out. And then you're ending up getting like a better price for stuff. And whether you want to kind of create like a group budget that you all draw from, where it's like, maybe like each of you contributes $10 a week towards this group budget, and then when something gets bought out of it, it just gets bought out of the budget, and then like each person gets their share, whether you want to rotate, like however you want to do it. But I'm telling you, if you can buy things in larger quantities, or the BOGOs or whatever, and like right now, a lot of our stores have buy two get three free. So like they actually have, oh my gosh, they have frozen burgers that aren't even that much more expensive on a per pound basis than what I paid for the pub burgers. So I paid $1.98 a pound for 85.15. I think these are 80.20. I have to look. But there's 2 pounds of these Philly burgers, and they're like $12.99 a package. But you buy 2 and you get 3 free. So I figured out it was like $2.50 a pound. So if I had room in the freezer, I may consider trying them, because $26 for, what is it, 10 pounds of ground beef isn't a bad price. So, and the only ingredient was beef, so I don't have to worry about, random stuff. Anyways, again, my name's Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. If you want to hear more, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.